Yeah, yeah. Hello, friends. We are back from the garden. Every day we go to the garden. And we did a huge, bountiful harvest of butter crunch lettuce. Oh my goodness. It was so big, and I knew that I needed to get to it, but I had hurt my back and I was not able to really do a lot of garden work. So Frank just had to water the garden for us. So today my back was feeling much, much better. So I decided to, this basket is full. And as you can see, I got this for $2 on discount. So if you could not pay full price for your harvest baskets and stuff, by all means. But anyways, this whole basket is full of lettuce. It's butter crunch lettuce. And I'm going to wash these up, and we are going to make lettuce soup. Yes, lettuce soup. I have not made this before. So we together will find out whether or not lettuce soup is good. So let's get to washing all of this wonderful lettuce. And the reason why you wash your garden fresh lettuce is because there's lots of little bugs in them. I found 2 daddy longlegs spiders in my lettuce at the garden. I left them there. They are very good at getting little bugs, but they were in amongst my lettuce. So I would imagine I probably had a lot of little bugs in there. I don't have a salad spinner. That is actually on order, and I'm going to be ordering it from Temu. So I'll let you guys know just how well it works. I'm going to be ordering a bunch of stuff from Temu this month. So if you're interested in seeing any of those videos, stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that follow button. That way you'll get updated when I upload another video. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified each time I upload one of these videos. I even had one that tried to make a little head. As soon as I get to it, I'll show you. Now, if you're wondering what kind of lettuce this is, I planted butter crunch lettuce. It actually does make heads, but you can harvest them a few times when they're still young, when they have the loose leaf, and then they'll eventually go to head, and they will create a really beautiful head of lettuce. All right, so there's the little tiny head of butter crunch, and I took it early. All right, all the lettuce has been washed. This is what I'm going to keep. None of this will go to waste. This will go to my friend who has some farm animals, and she can feed her farm animals a great little treat. So let's get on to making the soup. So I'm quadrupling my soup. So I'm going to use 16 tablespoons of butter. Put the butter in. I will have the recipe written down, and I will post it at the end of this video. Now I want this butter to melt, and then I'm going to add the onions and the garlic. All right, so the butter is now mostly melted, so I'm going to add, because I'm quadrupling this, I am adding 4 medium onions, and I'm going to add, it's supposed to be 16 cloves of garlic. My garlic is minced, so I am using a little teaspoon here, and I'm going to say each clove is about a teaspoon. And that's 4. To that, I have already diced up some onions. So I'm just going to add, well, they're sliced. I'm going to add up my onions. Then I'm going to cook this for a few minutes until the onions are just about translucent. To that, I'm going to add a few tablespoons of pepper. This part is to taste. If you like a lot of pepper and a lot of salt, then you can put a lot in. If you don't, just put a little bit. I'm quadrupling my recipe, so I'm putting quite a bit of salt in. Still need some more time to cook. They're not quite translucent yet. They're getting there. Couple more minutes. All right, now I'm going to take my immersion blender and I'm going to blend up my onions. Normally you would have them really diced, but mine weren't, so I'm going to help it along. We'll be using it again. Next up is we're going to add our chicken stock. This is homemade chicken stock I've made from home, so it's very concentrated. So if you're going to use store-bought, chicken broth, you will need 2 cups for every single batch you make. Because mine is very concentrated, I'm going to add about 6 cups of water. So there's 4. 2 more make 6. I'll take my blender again. And give it another blend. I still have some chunks in there, so I'm going to blend some more, and I'll be back when it's all blended in. All right, so pretty much I have some small pieces, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to cook this for about 8 to 10 minutes on about medium high. You want to bring it to a simmer, and then you want to simmer it for 8 to 10 minutes. All right, so this has been simmering for about 8 minutes. Next up is we're going to add parsley and the lettuce. So you are going to add about 1/4 cup of parsley. This is homegrown parsley out of my garden, so it's a lot fresher and a lot more potent. So I'm using only what I have in fresh. Don't really want sticks. If it's not enough, I do have some store-bought parsley, but I have a feeling this will be more than enough. And if you have never had homegrown parsley, you've got to grow some. It makes you realize just how wonderfully fragrant parsley really is. All right, so next up is the lettuce. Give this a stir. I can already smell that parsley. Oh my goodness. And remember, quadrupling. So I have a lot of lettuce. And all of this should wilt down quite nicely. Now don't use iceberg lettuce because it absolutely does not have any flavor. If you're going to use store-bought, use the very best romaine or butter crunch lettuce, stuff that actually has really wonderful flavor and nutrition. You can also add in collard greens, spinach, even kohlrabi leaves, which on my second batch of making this, I will add kohlrabi leaves because I have a few kohlrabis, as you saw in my garden. And I will have collard greens, so I'm excited about that. All right, so I'm going to cook this for a few minutes so that all the lettuce wilts down. And then we're going to take our immersion blender and we're going to blend all this again. The longer you let this kind of simmer and gets really soft, the faster it will blend. All right, it's been cooking for a few minutes, so I'm going to run my immersion blender in here. All right, so it has been cooking and I blended it a little bit. So what I'm going to do, since my stick blender is not like a powerful Vitamix, it won't make all of this really smooth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through a fine mesh sieve. But before we do that, the last ingredient is a little bit of lemon juice. And you do this to taste because you don't want it super bitter or tart from the lemon, but you just want to brighten it up. So I'm just going to start out, I'll say a 1/4 teaspoon. I'll give it a stir. I have turned this off. It's not super hot anymore. Give it a stir. And then let's give it a taste. Kind of curious. Lettuce soup. Lettuce. All right. It's not hot. Let me aim you up just a little bit so you get a little bit of view. Don't mind the background. We are still remodeling our kitchen. All right. Wow. That is totally not what I was expecting it to taste like. I would say I do want a little bit more lemon juice in there. And I think I want a little bit more salt. So let's take my little shaker of salt here. We'll get a new spoon. And give it another taste. I'm not sure if I want to keep the grits of the lettuce. Hey, you know how lettuce gets stuck in your teeth? But that's so much better. I'm going to run that through the sieve. We'll do another taste test. And then it'll be like the final, what I really think of it. Because it tastes really good. I just don't want all the, like the fibrous parts of the lettuce. So let's go run this through a mesh sieve. All right, so I have my bowl. I have a sieve, my ladle, and a spatula to push that through. And of course, then it's all going to go in the bowl. And I think I will dehydrate this pulp so I can use it in flavoring, you know, as a flavoring to flavor foods. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. I may just compost it. It has onions, so they can't go to my friend's animals. It has onions and garlic in it. You could probably try a food mill. I have a food mill. I should try that. Go grab my food mill and give this another try. Here is my food mill. honestly might work better. All right, it has all been strained. We saved a little bit on the bottom so we have some texture, but not as much as there was. And this looks so much better. I will show you. I'll get you in here and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys. This looks so good. Hubby says it almost reminds him of asparagus soup. And he's right. I would say it's a cross between asparagus and spinach. But it is so, so, so good. Let's get a taste of that. Yeah. I would say across from asparagus and spinach. It is good. So you can grow a whole bunch of lettuce in your garden and a whole bunch of parsley and onions and make a soup that kind of makes me think of summer. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out. This would be so good with tomatoes, but I'm still trying to figure out how to make that work with tomatoes, because I don't want to put tomatoes in it, because I feel that this soup would overpower the tomato and then the tomato would just disappear. But almost think that this be the soup, you know, instead of like a tomato soup and like grilled cheese, almost like this be the soup and then make a grilled tomato sandwich. I got tomatoes in the garden coming up. I'm totally going to give this a try, and I'll give you guys an update on how well it actually tastes, because I think these two would complement each other so, so well. Maybe tomato and bacon sandwich. Oh, and then a lettuce soup. A BLT. There you go. Okay, guys, if you enjoyed this recipe on making lettuce soup, please give a thumbs up. And if you want additional recipes, go ahead and either follow me on Facebook or hit that subscribe button and the notification bell on YouTube. And that way you guys will get notified when I upload these unique and different recipes. And this is gluten-free, guys. There's no gluten in this. You can have this whole bowl here. So we'll figure out how to make a lettuce and bacon sandwich without gluten. I'll have to think about that. So until next time, bye.